What is good, everyone? It is Mikey T, the movie star. I am back with my co-host, SV Twizz, the hood blogger. And today we're doing something a little bit different. Twizz, today we're actually going to take a look at the 50 Cent BMF show that is going to premiere and very shortly. And then hopefully we'll be taking a look at all the episodes that come from that. But today we're going to take a look at the trailer, some of the cast members, some of the quotes from it, and some of the scenes that are depicted in this upcoming series. I'm really excited about it. How you feeling about that, Twizz?
Oh man, I'm definitely excited about it, man. And definitely first and foremost, free Meech, man. This is a beautiful thing right here, man, to be able to have this put out in a series episode. So big shout out to 50, man, for making this happen.
Yeah, it's really being put out on the biggest platform possible. When you think about it, 50 show, from what I was reading, Power doing over 10 million viewers in season 5. When it started out in the early seasons, just over a million. It really shows you the growth of what Power really became.
Facts, facts. And the thing with Power is Power wasn't based on like an actual true story like how BMF is. But when you watch it, you become so connected to the characters and you highly anticipate for the next series that's playing it the following week. It was real. That was like, exclusive, man. Exclusive. And it's good for the people from our era because we remember like, The Sopranos, The Wire, you know what I mean? From that era, Power was like the biggest thing, you know what I mean, after that. And it became above that, basically. You know what I mean? Everybody was tuned into it.
Yeah, I'm really hyped to see the show and how it all plays out. I'm not really a TV guy, Twiz. In the name, Mikey T, the movie star. I'm more of a movie guy, but I'm definitely going to
Facts.
tune into this because I think 50 is, and whoever does the show, is going to have a way of breaking down this stuff like how we saw Frank Lucas' story broke down, how we saw George Young's story broke down in the movie Blow. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be interesting. So, reading on Wikipedia, the Black Mafia family was founded in 1989 in Detroit with Big Meech and Southwest T. So, that was Demetrius and Terry. And by 2000, they had established a cocaine distribution sales throughout the United States. So, the BMF indictment actually came in 2005, and BMF Entertainment was established, and it served as like a promoter for several high-profile hip-hop artists, including people like Fabulous, Young Jeezy, and their own artist was Blue Da Vinci, who I actually had done an interview with at one point. Why do you think artists like Jeezy and Fab were working with these guys, Twiz?
Well, you know, um, when you a rapper and coming from the mud, an investor is an investor, bro. Like it don't matter if this guy is from the streets or if he's a corporate guy. If it's somebody that's gonna put the money behind you, it's all about the money at the end of the day, man.
So, like I said, in 2005, the indictment happened, and so the prosecutors alleged that the Black Mafia family made over $270 million in the course of their operations. This brings me back to what was the pictures of Big Meech in rooms full of cash.
Definitely, definitely. Meech was growth and so high on the streets to the point they had billboards up and things of that nature saying BMF. You know, um, he made himself very noticed to the world, and they were driving around luxury cars. Life was so good. So, you know what I mean? Them folks was definitely gonna look like, who is these guys? Who is this guy? Why is he so powerful? Why is he so financially stable?
Right. And that goes back into what you were saying about the artist. The artist wants to be around that. They want to be around the people who are at the nightclubs paying for all the champagne and all the drinks, paying for the sections.
Thanks.
All that stuff costs money. all the sections. It costs thousands of dollars at the nightclub, the section, the booze, the extra booze.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Facts.
you can't really fault the artist for feeling cool for being around these guys who live so luxuriously. So, looking at the trailer, we kick it off with The King of Rock. Very popular song by Run DMC. Twizz, did they miss the boat on getting the BMF record by Rick Ross?
No, they didn't, because with them playing the music, they taking it to the time frame of what was playing around those years. It's like they got the other one, the Godfather of Harlem, where it's like, and it wasn't that, of course wasn't by 50, but if you pay attention to the music, they was playing newer style music. Bro, this back in the day, it don't match that scene. You can't come out playing Rick Ross or Drake or something like that, even though they weren't on there in particular, but you can't play new style music when you're taking it back to the essence of what was going on at that time.
I'm just saying it seemed like it could have been a major opportunity. A lot of blogs were talking about it, but I guess maybe it was the Rick Ross and 50 Cent beef that prevented it
Facts.
from happening. But from what you're saying, Twizz, I think it makes sense. You don't want to make some of the same mistakes that other films or shows have made by not using music that is actually relevant to the time. So using King of
Facts.
Rock, Run DMC, and we kick it off with the 1980 something, you know what I mean? It really makes
Facts.
sense. So as I said, we kick it off in 1980 something. When we was growing up, we wanted to be like the Young Boys Incorporated. Twizz, I know this is a little before your time with people growing up in the 70s and becoming teenagers in the 80s, but what was it that made the young boys like idolize these dope boys as we're seeing take place here in BMF?
Well, that's just how it is. When you coming out of the trenches, it don't matter what time frame you are, you're gonna look at the ones that's successful. Like, and the further back you go, times is different a little. Times is much different now, where you got some families where they might have good jobs or have established business, and they legitimately are taking care of their families. But back then, and I'm talking about people that's still in the hood that's doing this. Back then, it's like if you was in the hood, you was in a full struggle, bro. So as a kid, you going through depression and stress, so you want to look for that way out. If you come in the house and the fridge is empty, and then you come outside and you see this guy driving down the block with a Benz, or back then, like they had like the Saabs and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? It's like I want to be like that. I don't want to be like these people that my family that's struggling. So it's like this is the only way out.
I agree with you, Twizz, because right now, this day and age that we're living in, it's different than what we're seeing depicted here in BMF, because now there's so many different ways for the young generation, my generation, our generation, even the younger generation to earn money, to get money.
Facts.
Like people can send you money from California in one instant right now.
Facts.
Our fathers and their fathers' generation didn't have that. And that's why we see out here on this street corner, Big Meech and his friend actually admiring the guys in the expensive cars. Like, how do we get that? And then they don't,
Facts.
and then it's a question of what method can you use to become, you know what I mean? What method can you use
Exactly.
to become successful?
Exactly.
So the trailer goes on. All them dudes had money, women, clothes, and fly whips. But more than anything, they had respect.
Definitely, man. They had a lot of respect because they gave everybody respect until that line got crossed. You know what I mean? They wasn't going out just, robbing or murdering for their name. They had a strong team. They had a great connect. And Meech put everybody in his team in position to really get money. It's like, fast forward to nowadays, bro, you might have this one guy and he getting a lot of money on the streets. But when you look through his whole pyramid, everybody ain't getting money like that. He got a bunch of corner boys, people getting fronted ounces and stuff like that, where it's like Meech was putting everybody in boss situations. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. And according to the trailer, going on with the trailer, if you all are checking it out or have checked it out, there's both a teaser and an official trailer out. Big Meech, then Little Meech, was already working that young and had a boss. His friend was admiring the vehicle, saying, "That's my car." That's a saying that a lot of kids will say back in the day, Twizz. They'd be like, "That's my car. That's my car."
Facts.
You know?
Facts.
And while Meech responded, "No, it ain't, fool. It's my boss's. And one day I'm going to have one just like it." What did you make of that portion of the trailer right there, showing you Big Meech's character at such a young age?
Well, that showed you how mature he was and that he knew what he wanted and that he was going to get what he wanted by any means necessary. You know what I mean? It's always a few out the bunch, maybe one out the bunch, where they just so far advanced and they understand what they're going to do, to execute the plans that they have.
Yep. And as the trailer goes on, Meech took his friend with him that day, and they were on a journey beyond their wildest imagination, as they say in the trailer. Were they, Twizz? They were on that journey now, weren't they?
Absolutely. They definitely were on that journey, man. It like taking it from there, it was the beginning of everything. You know what I mean? So that's what, got their feet wet into what became history, man, at the end of the day.
Yep, this is executive produced by 50 Cent. Twizz, why do you think 50 Cent wanted to dive into this project? He actually said this is a stronger version of Power. And I think one of the things that attracted it to him to the project was that it wasn't fictional.
Well, I got a couple reasons why I feel as though why 50 wanted to drag into it. You know, first and foremost, he was around Meech before Meech, to fall down. Meech then invited him to come out and chill with him and things of that nature. 50 spoke on it in the past, like, bro, like, I knew who Meech and them was, but I stayed away from that because I knew what they was into. I wanted to focus on my, career, my future, because 50 could be tied up in with the indictment and everything. Knowing who 50 is and the respect that he had in his hood, you know what I mean? Let's just say he would have been, you know, part of that and doing things that, that wasn't legitimate and get tied up. But secondly, he saw how well he executed Power and how much people, really, really were interested in Power. So he knew that the story with Meech, like, is a true story, bro. Like, he was able to reach out to Meech and get Meech, appraisal for doing this. So it's like when like Will Smith did Ali, he was able to talk to Ali. It was a lot. So that's what I feel like makes this series super crazy, and it will be better than Power because it's a true story and he has direct contact with the actual source. You know
Right.
what I mean? So he's a genius, man.
Yeah, and shit, when Big Meech gets home, the series could potentially go on. The series could potentially turn into a movie. We do see that happen. I mean, it happened with Entourage, but we've seen it happen more frequently than that.
Facts, facts.
So jumping back into the trailer, the narration goes, "We got a product that creates its own demand. As long as we got vision, as long as we got my vision and your brains, can't nobody mess with us." Twizz, how do you see them breaking this down in the show? Like, how do you see them breaking down this partnership in the show and, getting what do you think?
That right there was a valid point because it don't matter what you're doing, whether you want to be a hustler, a well-grounded businessman. It takes a lot, man, because it's always somebody that has a vision, and then you got somebody that has the brain that be like, well, in order to make this vision happen, we got to do A, B, and C. and we got to watch out for this because this could happen. So that just takes it back to where they say, two minds are greater than one. You know what I mean? It's hard to do it by yourself. You need the extra set of eyes always, and that go from both sides, at the end of the day. So I feel like that was a heavy gem drop, no matter what you're doing in life.
Everybody in the game knows the risks. Getting arrested, robbed, or even killed is a part of it. The rules have always been the same, ain't no other way, and the competition is thickening. So, we get a lot of great quotes from this show, and it's really drawing me in. It's really drawing me in. Like I said, I'm usually a movie guy, but I'm drawn in to see what they can do from this show from episode to episode. How long is this? How long do you see this as being a potential of lasting, Twizz?
Probably for the next until it stop, just like Power. You know what I mean? It could be 3 years, it could be 5 years. It depends how long they're going to stretch the seasons out in the episodes, because it's going to be well anticipated, man. You know what I mean? We've seen what 50 did with Power, and this one right here, I feel like he's going to really execute it more than Power. You know what I mean? Because he's dealing with somebody's story that's a street legend. You know what I mean? So I definitely give it, 3 to 5 years.
Damn, damn. And then, like I said, the potential for a feature film will be that much bigger once they've, put together all this, these shows on the Stars Network, and then the people get a real vibe for it.
Facts.
Could there be a Power movie, or is that a little too far fetched?
I don't think they should do a Power movie because the way Power is, the series and the seasons, you just think about it. The average movie is what, an hour and a half? Some might be extra long where they push it out damn near 2 hours. But with them breaking it in series, you're doing series, it's an hour per series.
Right.
You're making the story way wider, bro. Like way wider. You can't touch up on everything where a movie, you gotta jam as much as possible. So I don't think that it would make sense for them to do a Power movie.
Nice call, Twizz. Yeah, I was just suggesting that because the numbers are so crazy, 10.8 million viewers. But it looks like Snoop Dogg is going to be a reoccurring cast member, and it seems like he had some key lines in the trailer. The good Lord thanks you for the benevolent offering, my brother. What do you see Snoop Dogg offering to the show, Twizz?
His celebrity, his personality, it's always good to have somebody like Snoop, and certain celebrities where it's going to add spunk to it, like especially when they're acting someone that's not too close to their actual personality, man. It just shows you, like, this guy can really act, and it shows you the teamwork. It's a beautiful thing because 50 could just have a bunch of people that's not known, or a few up and coming artists. But for Snoop to get that role, that just says a lot. And I'm pretty sure Snoop has his name, but he definitely had to rehearse for it and nail his rehearsal to even get that slot. So I'm real, excited to see what's going to go on tomorrow.
Yeah, I think honestly, Snoop does look like he's doing a great job in this. It's obviously not the smoking weed type character. His character might smoke a little weed, but he seems like he's kind of like got a little bit of an edge, which I'm intrigued
Facts.
by. And Snoop actually said that he was friends with Meech and Terry and the whole BMF movement, so he actually really goes back with these guys. On a lighter note, 50 had said during the filming he actually had to try to get Snoop Dogg to stop smoking some weed.
Snoop was making everybody on the cast catch contact, man. Snoop a chimney, man. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, 50 is he's a workaholic, man. Like, calm down, put that herb down for a minute, and let's get this done. I can picture that.
I'm sure Snoop has,
Respectfully.
I'm sure Snoop has his own strand by now.
Of course, he definitely does.
So we move on and we get a throwback. We kind of get a throwback to Boys in the Hood, you know, with Meech's father, when Meech's dad found him in possession of a gun. What did you make of that, Twist? He asked his son if he was a policeman.
Man, it's heavy, man. It just shows you that everybody upbringing is different. And, it just shows you that where they, a lot of people from the hood and things where they are in broken households where their father is not even around. So for him to have his father around and find out that he got a burner and question him like that, it just makes you like, whoa, like, what kind of guy was his father? You know what I mean? What was he into for him to even ask that?
Meech's dad asked, "What kind of job do you have that you need a gun?" And Meech replied, "It's not like that." What do you think they're going to explore with Meech getting his first gun, Twiz?
Where it started at, man. Everybody in the streets know the first time that gun get in your hand, you feel a different elevation of power where like now I know I want to get money like this and that. As long as I got this, ain't nobody gonna get in my way. I don't care how tough they are, whatever they think the situation is. So I'm pretty sure somewhere within that around that time he's going to use it in some shape or form, to start, getting the power and the respect.
So we get a little bit of a political offering. Nobody gave nobody shit in this country. I think this plays into his harsh sentence with the people saying that he's been treated horribly. They didn't give us our freedom or our right to vote. We had to fight for that shit. They're going to get a little political in this show. And obviously, I think that's what leads. It's like on some Tupac shit, Twiz.
Well, we can compare it to that. We can compare it to that as far as the drive and the anger that's built inside, where it's like I'm going to accomplish what I want to accomplish because I feel like I've been cheated. You know what I mean? I feel like I've been shorthanded. So I know for a fact that I can get money this way or I can be successful this way. And at the end of the day, man, I just want to get money and live life good, man. And ain't nothing going to stop me from that because I saw my older generations struggling.
Some of the quotes, the brothers that influenced a generation, the brothers that influenced a culture. What do you think, man? How do these quotes apply to them? Like, how did they influence the culture? How did they influence a generation?
They did them and a lot others, whereas though it's like people in the trenches once again. You're coming from nothing. You might have a hard working family that really love you. You might have your mom and dad, they really love you, but they're not financially stable to really, do for their children as the way that they should be done for. Like one big thing is you can have two parents that love you to death. The father can have a job, the mom might be a stay-at-home mom. Now, it all starts with like appearance and what you got. Like you come out in the hood, you get teased for having on the wrong clothes and things of that nature. You go back to your parents and be like, "Mom, Dad, they teasing me because I got these sneaks on. I want the new Jordans." And then your parents give you a lecture like, I work hard every day and that stuff is not valuable. But when these kids are stepping outside, it's like the world don't seem like that because you're gonna have a few people where they might be fly in the hood, even if they are all broke. Some people put their appearance first, so that's like one of the first steps. So when you coming from the hood, you want the feeling that you ain't broke, you're not missing out on nothing. That's why you can ride through any hood and you see people driving through Benzes, Maseratis, all types of stuff and they still in the trenches every day though. That's why when rappers get their money where they be at in the projects with $250,000 car, you know what I mean? So it's like a mental thing. So when you see these guys like Meech and them, Frank Matthews, people like that, it's like, dang, bro, like if he did that and he came from that, I can do that too. I got access to the same things. The work might not be as good. The price is probably not as good, but you feel like, you can accomplish that too.
Wow, that's how they influenced the generation and a culture. Meech was told he's going to end up in jail. he responded, "I will do better at protecting this family."
Yeah, well, ended up in jail protecting the family. That just mean no matter what, ain't nobody gonna go down with me. And he's gonna come home. He was well respected, very well respected before he went in. But when he come home, he's gonna be even more respected. All these guys like Jeezy and everybody that was around him, the Da Vinci's, whether it's Fab or all of them, he's gonna come home to checks, and he's gonna be able to get back on his feet and do things legitimately, and the people gonna listen because of who he is. He's one of the few people that can come home and save the youth. You know what I mean? He can really save. Of course, you can't save everybody, but he can save a portion of the youth and a portion of some older people, man. Because it's still some older people that still fall through the same revolving doors, man.
So, what do you think of Little Meech playing his father? He actually said it was like a dream come true.
Man, I find it beautiful, and I know that put a smile on Meech's face. For Meech to, set up an organization to build an empire, it was about his family and his loved ones. He wanted to put his son in position and family in position. So for him to get locked up, and he went through so much while being in jail, as far as, put in a hole, disconnected from society to the point he couldn't even make a phone call home or do like an interview over the phone. It just puts a smile on his face that his son gets a chance to shine, make money, and begin his legacy, which could be something legitimate as far as acting. You know what I mean? Off of his name and off of his story. So I feel like it's very powerful. It's a beautiful thing. And once again, shout out to 50 for even getting him in there. Like, only other time we probably really saw it was what with Straight Outta Compton movie
Ice
with
Cube
Ice
son.
Cube's son.
Yeah.
But Ice Cube was the father that put it together. So yeah, he put his son in that role.
Right.
But with Meech, son also with them being like identical, it's real exclusive, man.
Yeah, Twizz, but also that jump started, Ice Cube's son's movie career. This is gonna
Facts,
jumpstart Meech's son's movie career. You know what I mean?
facts,
It really is.
facts.
It's really gonna take him to a whole nother level, getting an opportunity to appear in, like you said, it's gonna be in like an hour format, whether that's 43
Facts.
minutes or an actual full hour.
Facts.
It is what it is, but it's going to be multiple episodes. And I got a feeling, Twizz, it's going to be like 100 episodes.
Yeah, I agree. Because, like you said, most of the time they do 10 episode seasons. Only season I probably saw that did more than 10 was like The Walking Dead. Yeah, they stretched it out. But definitely 10 episode seasons, probably 10 seasons, then the finale.
We'll have to see what happens with it. But like I said, I'm
Yeah,
interested to see what happens when Big Meech actually gets out and takes on more of a role, in an executive producer role, probably alongside 50 Cent, you know?
thanks. I feel like Meech gonna come home. Let's just say the series happens to end before Meech come home. God's willing, Meech can come home before the series over because it would be lit because he'd be able to act himself as an adult. Then that would be real crazy. But if it don't, I feel like Meech is gonna come home and he's gonna be an important factor in the music industry, bro. An important factor, man.
So
Very important.
looking it up, it seems like Big Meech will be out in 2028, Twiz.
Oh,
I think the show will, without a doubt, be still airing at that point, man.
that's true. It's possible. And it would be genius for 50 to, like you said, 10 seasons, let's just say 10 episodes per season. So yeah, we'll be scrolling for the next 10 years. So that would be perfect timing for him to catch the last 2 seasons of the episode. You know what I mean? That would be excellent.
And then go on from there, wherever it goes from there. Some shows have gone
Facts.
on 15 seasons. But, the show premieres The show is going to be premiering tomorrow, September 26th. So that's why we wanted to put this out today. We want to know
Definitely.
everybody's thoughts on BMF. Twizz, I definitely appreciate you joining me. And we
No
both
doubt.
look at the trailer on multiple occasions. And we wanted to come on and, really just give our thoughts. And you know what I mean? We really just wanted to give our thoughts on it and get a reaction from all y'all and see how much y'all are messing with it too. Twizz, do you have any
Most definitely.
final notes before we get up out of here?
Yeah, I just want to say to the subscribers, y'all, salute to everybody that's tuned in to Report Card Radio. Yeah, I mean, salute my brother Mikey T. But for those of y'all that's watching the BMF series tomorrow, make sure y'all drop the comments below and let us know, how accurate were, us pretty much, talking about the series before it happened. Let us know what y'all think about us speaking on it and everything. Show some love. Make sure y'all punch that like button. And y'all know this is all part of the hip hop panel. You know what I mean? But this SV Twizz, Mikey T, the movie star, and y'all know how we carry it.
All right, y'all. We'll catch you on the next episode. Let us know if you want to see more joints just like this. Salute.
Salute.